Oh shit, it's recording. Well, alright. Um, we're back with another review video. Um, I literally just got up from a nap, so my mind's like all over the place. So I'm like, let me just pull this up real quick. My fault. Today's review is on a movie called What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Now, I could have done many different reviews, but this is literally a movie I watched today, and I still have most of what I remember from the movie. So, well, all of it, kind of. I have to pull it up here, just so I can have the actors' names and whatever, so I don't forget or nothing like that. Because I tend to do that a lot. I don't really remember the characters' names. I just remember the story in general. Um, you know, while watching this movie, I realized, man, this most people, from my experience at least, most people don't really understand the emotional impact of movies. You know, they just don't understand it, man. Like you could play whatever, and there's always a person that just, oh, it's fake. It's not real. But they don't understand the storytelling. Like they don't understand the weight it holds. Like most of these movies, most movies and shows that I'm gonna review, hopefully all of them are strong storytelling shows and movies. And What's Eating Gilbert Grape is no different. I couldn't really tell you if the acting was bad or good. I think it's a little bit of both because this 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 movie stars some big names. Johnny Depp. I love me some Johnny Depp. I can't name a single bad Johnny Depp movie. But I'll tell you what, this character he plays in this movie is an interesting one. I'm gonna dive deeper into it, but you got Leonardo DiCaprio, you got Juliet Lewis, you got some big names. But man, something about this movie was very intriguing and very not upsetting. I don't want to say upsetting. That's not the right word. It's more of like, is he acting or is he just saying the lines? Because okay, I guess I'll get into it now. Spoilers ahead, by the way, for people who haven't seen What's Eating Gilbert Grape. Um, I gotta talk about his acting. Johnny Depp, his acting throughout the first half of the movie, I thought was weak, but for good reason. Because it took me the ending part of the movie to really piece it together. I've seen this movie twice. No, three times, I think. Two to three. But yeah, it took me the other half of the movie to realize, you know, the character, what he's going through, and all that. So let me just dive into the story. This takes place in a small town. I don't remember what town it was, but it was a small town. Um, we follow Johnny Depp's character, Arnie Grape. No, no, wrong. Gilbert Grape. See, I don't remember the names. My fault. We follow Gilbert Grape as he's taking care of his brother, having an affair with, no, 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 a lady's having an affair with Gilbert, and Gilbert's mom is how do I say it? She's a big fellow. She's overweight, and Gilbert has these sisters that that really piss him off sometimes. Well, one of them pisses him off. The other one's always telling him things that he needs to do better. He needs to do better, basically, is what she does. Um, Man, my head is, I can't think straight. I should have never took that nap. Um, Let me lock in. There's a bunch of stuff that happens in this movie. Bad stuff, mainly bad stuff, and throughout all the bad events, you know, or Johnny Depp's character, he doesn't convey a lot of emotion, which I thought was weird in the beginning part. Um, and I'm not trying to say he was like a blank page the whole movie. No, he had some emotion here and there, but it just felt like he was just rolling with it. He was one of those characters that he just rolls with what happens. Trying to hide something, and that's what I'm getting to. So yeah, he has his sisters up his ass the whole time. He has to take care of his brother, which I don't know if I mentioned, but Leonardo DiCaprio's character is special needs, and Johnny Depp's character is taking care of him through the whole movie. And I gotta say, Leonardo DiCaprio puts on a all star performance like always. I've never seen him do a bad performance, but yeah, he's what I'm trying to say is he's constantly dealing with shit the whole time, and he's just rolling with it. He just has like a blank face, like sometimes, not all the times. I'm kind of milking it, but um, it gets to a point where he he has so much built up anger that he he does a very specific deed. I'm not gonna tell you what it is yet, because I'm jumping too far ahead, but he does something bad that you know makes him, how do I say it? It makes him crack. It makes that chill facade crack. He starts showing some real heavy emotion, and that's what brought me back. Like, made me think, oh, this was intentional. This was all intentional, because the shit that I'm about to list down is crazy. So besides the sisters and the brother or whatever, he's fooling around with this one lady who, keep in mind, has a husband and two kids. And during that time, they're a bunch of how do I say it? I forgot the name of it. A bunch of people drive through the city or the town, and one of the people driving, their car breaks down, and that brings in um, Juliette Lewis's character into the movie, and Johnny Depp's character falls in love with her, which causes a rift between him and the mom that he's having an affair with or whatever. And when that mom finds out about him and the girl that appears in the town, she gets jealous. She gets jealous, and let me tell you what, she tortures the hell out of her husband with the shit that she does, because it gets to a point where she starts losing her shit, and the father accidentally dies in a kiddie pool. One of them little pools that kids, playing. He drowns in it. She, you, they don't say it, but it's obvious that she, out of anger and frustration, she, you know, because the dad was, he was a dad. He was a good ass dad. He's always trying to make his kids happy or whatever. And that's another thing too. The kids, there's a part, after the funeral for the dad, where the lady, the mom, is about to leave the town because everybody thinks that she killed her husband. She says to Johnny Depp's character that she hopes her kids turns out like him, which, first off, that's weird. That's weird. I'm not gonna say why, but you can paint the picture why that's weird. But on top of that, are those his kids? You telling me she was fooling around for him for that long that she had two kids with him? I don't know. That's just my theory. That line kind of stuck with me, you know. But yeah, the lady leaves the town, and you know, it's the Leonardo DiCaprio's character, the brother with the special needs. It's his birthday coming up, and they're trying their hardest to plan it out. You know, inviting people or whatever. And throughout the whole entire movie, you know, Leonardo DiCaprio's character causes trouble. You know, because he's special needs, and when my experience with it, you know, it's pretty accurate. You know, they like I have a nephew. Let's just say that I have a nephew, and they like to climb. And there's this big water tower that Leo's character keeps climbing, and it gets to a point where the police get so pissed that they have to take him into jail. And let me stop real quick. I'm jumping through all different parts of the movie when I should be doing it bit by bit, but I'm like I said, I'm tired. I just woke up from a nap, so I'm a little my head's a little fuzzy right now. But yeah, so they take Leonardo DiCaprio's character to jail, and the mother of Johnny Depp's character and Leonardo DiCaprio's character, the mother, which I have not mentioned at all in this video. Oh, I have. She's big, like really big. No disrespect, but she has some weight on her, and the amount of times that Leonardo DiCaprio's character has climbed that tower has pissed the cops off to the point where they finally arrest him, and causes the mom to finally leave her home, which she hasn't left in I guess a good 20 years or something like that. Which keep in mind she apparently was like the most beautiful female in that town, and yeah, when she gets there, you know, everybody's staring at her, laughing at her. She gets her son back through vocal means, which means she laid the hammer down with just her speech. But when they finally get Leo's character out of jail, everybody's just staring at the mom, laughing at her because of her weight. It's crazy. And yeah, so with all that happening, it's back to Johnny Depp's character. He's real like I said, nonchalant about everything, but you know, he still cares. In most of the scenes he shows that he cares, but he doesn't show too much emotion up until near the end of the movie, where it's like what I want to say a day. It's the day before Leonardo character's birthday, and Johnny Depp's character's trying everything he can possible to make sure it goes smooth, which it doesn't, because Leo's character accidentally makes the sister drop the cake or whatever, and kind of ruins things, because they can't make another cake, so Johnny Depp's character has to rush to a like a food mart to pick up a cake they ordered or whatever. And this is where it gets interesting, because this is where it kind of shows him slowly slip down into a like a mental breakdown kind of, because keep in mind the reason the mother is the way she is because the husband left, and throughout the whole movie it's a big part of the whole movie that the husband's not around, and they try not to mention it because it kind of affects them all in a way. But back to what I was saying, Johnny Depp's character goes to the supermarket or whatever it's called, the food mart, and he picks up the cake, and he goes out the store, and he sees a man in a car. The man is the father. Some bullshit that is, right? And he I'll get to the part where he talks about the father, but besides that, that's where the tipping point comes because towards the end of the movie, before Leo's character's birthday, shit just hits the fan because he tries to hide the cake in the fridge, forgetting that he saw his dad, which was fucking him up in the head. Keep in mind at that moment it was fucking him up in the head. While they're all trying to prepare themselves for the birthday the following day, Leo's character fucks up the cake, the new cake they got, and it pisses off Johnny's character to the point where he drags him up to the bathroom because he throughout the movie he has a responsibility to take his brother a bath. He tries to take his brother a shower. His brother's not complying and making it harder for him, and it pisses him off to the point where he starts beating the shit out of him. Not like beating him like to the point where he broke his face or whatever, but he he beat him to the point where he was bleeding, and once he realized what he did, once he like grasped his reality back after being so enraged, he runs. And it seems like he was planning on leaving the town completely because he got to the end, like the exit of the town. Bye bye wherever the hell their town is. But he thinks about it, and he goes back because obviously he can't just leave his family like that. But and now I'm gonna talk about what's her name, Juliet Lewis's character, because you know throughout the whole movie she's been a very important character, and her character's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, like a real chilled person, like somebody you would want to meet, like really like want to meet. I mean, I think we can all agree that wherever the hell we live at, we all think that where we live at is shitty and boring and lame because people suck. And Juliet Lewis's character is like the embodiment of somebody you want to meet. Somebody new, somebody different, somebody not from where you live. Somebody that nobody knows that you just connect with like that. But yeah, she's a real chill person in the movie. She has some pretty good scenes. Yeah, she blah blah blah. She's sorry, my brain's fucking up again. Very good character. Very good character. Leo's character, after being beat, runs away, same time as Johnny's character tries to leave the city. And Leo's character goes to Julia Lewis's character, and she tries to comfort him, take care of him. She plans on taking him back to his house or whatever. But Johnny Depp's character sees all this, right? He's watching from afar, and he sees her take Leo's character, to the lake. And keep in mind, Leo's character doesn't swim. He doesn't like being alone in water, stuff like that. Whatever. He's afraid of the water. But she encourages him to jump in. And what does he do? He jumps in, because this was, again, I'm jumping parts of it or whatever. She encourages him to finally jump in the water after the whole movie of him being afraid of the water. And Johnny Depp's character, for finally, like I said, I know the movie shows more emotion, but he shows real happiness. Like he's proud. Like he's seen something finally good happen. And afterwards, the sisters pick up Leo's character after finally finding him after he ran away. And Julia Lewis' character sees Johnny Depp's character watching from afar. She walks up to him, and they talk. And the conversation was, I gotta say, it really showed a lot, because he put, I want to say this was probably the most emotional scene of the movie, probably, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, he talks about how his father showed up, and that's what started it all. And he, it didn't make me cry. Like I said, I've only cried in one movie, but it really hit me there. I felt immersed, and he says a line that stuck with me. It's like he says something like, you don't hit Arnie. You just don't do that. You don't hit him, and it's so true because if you've lived with someone with special needs, you have to understand. You have to have patience with them. You have to understand that you can't lose your cool, because once you do, it's like you're gonna be in the wrong no matter what. And it's very relatable. It's it shows a lot. It shows it takes a lot to be what Johnny Depp's character is, holding in all that emotion and holding back a lot, you know? And yeah, they kiss or whatever, they make up because they had a fight previously in the movie, like middle-ish part of the movie. But yeah, the following day, it's Leo's character's birthday. Johnny Depp's character finally makes up with his brother, even though his brother doesn't really pay mind, because their brains, they work differently. They forget about some stuff or whatever. But he makes up with his brother. He apologizes. He apologizes to his mom, and ooh, see, I was wrong. There is a more emotional part of this movie, but I'll get to that in a second. He apologizes to his sister. They have a great birthday. The mom, after going through so much struggle to stepping out of her comfort zone to appear in the city the way she was, being very self. How do I say it? What's the word? I forgot. Being very scared to show what she looks like now in front of everybody. She takes, because throughout the whole movie she's always on the couch in the living room. She never goes upstairs, but she finally takes the steps upstairs and sleeps in her bed for the first time in however long it was that she was not sleeping in her bed. And the kids were all happy to see it. They were finally seeing their mom take a big step in life. And unfortunately, that step led to a very bad trip and fall. She dies. She dies. It was probably the most emotional scene in the movie. I totally forgot about it. Brain fog, like I said before. I can't think straight. But this is probably the most sad part of the movie. Because they all the let me paint you the picture, because now I'm starting to remember things. Now my brain's starting to work, because now I'm getting more emotional about it. Leo's character, being the special needs person that he is, goes to his mother's room in the morning. I think it was in the morning, maybe at night. I don't know, one of the two. He goes to wake her up. She doesn't wake up. She doesn't wake up. Now imagine that. A special needs person, in your family goes to wake up your mother, their mother, and she doesn't wake up. At first he thought she was playing a game on him. A little game of hide and seek or whatever he said. And when he started, getting a little serious about it. He was saying shit like, stop playing with me, stop fooling around. And that's when he realized something bad happened to her. And he goes outside. I don't know exactly what he was doing outside, but the sister was panicking so much that she was yelling for the other brother to come help, because he was doing something with his hand. I don't know if he had like a knife or something, but yeah, they all find out together that, well, the three other siblings find out that their mom died. And a very sad moment. Very, very sad moment. Near at the end, the cops tell them that they need like a crane or whatever to pick her out of the room and bring her to whatever they're planning on doing. And Johnny's character realizes that the whole town's gonna pop out. The whole town's gonna show up to see their mother dead, because that's how nosy they are and how much of an asshole the whole town can be. And he says he's not gonna let his mom be, laughing stock, laughing stock anymore. They all take all the furniture out the house, and they burn the house down. Hey, that's probably the best way to do it. Because I know damn well I wouldn't want my mom being a laughing stock to people. You know what I'm saying? Like it's you got to make that hard decision. So at the end of the movie, they talk about how the sisters are doing whatever the hell they're doing, and Johnny's character is still taking care of Leo's character, and the girl Juliette Lewis's character, she left, because she was traveling the world, or that's the country with her mom, but she comes back a year later, and the movie ends on a good note, because the whole movie they've been saying that Leo's character should have been dead by 10, but he lived to age 19, and at the end they have a happy ending. It's a good message. Shit happens, and you just gotta live. You gotta move on. You gotta live life. It's a pretty real. I don't want to say real. It's pretty realistic, to be honest with you. I mean, it's a real ass movie. It was a great movie. I'd rate it a 7. My last rating was 7.5, but I rate this a 7. I kind of want to rate it a 6.5. No, we'll keep it at 7. It's not a bad movie. If you're a real movie lover like me, if you really immerse yourself in these movies, because I immerse myself. These past couple months, any movie I've seen, I'm so deep into it, I forget I'm fucking. It's a good escape, It's a good ass escape. You put on a good movie that really talks to you, that really speaks to you. You just forget everything else. I mean, shit. In the middle of this movie, I was very immersed because my mom came in talking about go to the Family Dollar to get something for her, and it just broke my immersion. I was pissed. I was telling her, you got to start making sure you got all your stuff and stop sending me on these errands. Nicely though, I love my mom, but I've been going on one too many errands, and I don't like my movie time being disrupted. But yeah, I get too immersed in these movies, man, and I love it. It's like a drug for me. I disappear in these movies. It's a good trip to escape the real world, because everybody knows the real world sucks. There might be good events here and there, but there's nothing like a good escape. Whether it's whatever it is you like doing, little, whatever you like. I rate Gilbert, What's Eating Gilbert Grape, a 7. Great story. Very interesting acting from these big names. Leo obviously killed it. Johnny, he did amazing, as always. Juliette Lewis's character was very likable. And yeah, I think I touched everything. I did not mean for this video to be fucking 30 minutes long, but when I'm very intrigued by a movie, I get very deep into it. And I'm sorry that my first video rating The Notebook was so short, but I literally had watched that movie 3 months like 3 months before making the video. I don't know if I said that right. I made the video 3 months after watching the movie, and I don't remember much. I remember enough. That's a bit of a harsh thing, but yeah. Thank you for watching another review video by me, Elixir. Have a good one.